Did you know that most people spend 47% of their time thinking about something other than what they're doing? Living on autopilot has become so normal that we barely notice it. Do you ever feel stuck in your daily routine, like every day is just a repeat of the last? Living your best life doesn't mean waiting for the perfect moment. It means taking action now. Every small step you take today can bring you closer to a life filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. It's not about having everything figured out, but about making the choice to start right where you are. One of the biggest reasons people don't live their best life is fear: fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of change. It's that quiet voice in the back of your mind whispering, "What if I'm not good enough?" Or "What if I try and nothing changes?" Fear can be paralyzing. It convinces us that staying where we are, even if we're unhappy, is safer than taking a risk. Then there's procrastination. We tell ourselves, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'll wait until I have more time, more money, more confidence." But the truth is, tomorrow turns into next week, next month, and before we know it, years have passed. Procrastination often masks deeper issues like perfectionism or a lack of belief in ourselves. It's not just laziness, it's a defense mechanism, a way of avoiding discomfort or potential disappointment. Negative self talk is another major obstacle. The way we speak to ourselves matters more than we realize. If you constantly say things like, "I'm not smart enough," "I'll never make it," or "why bother," you're programming your mind to believe those lies. Over time, this internal dialogue becomes your reality, shaping your decisions and limiting your potential. Another challenge is comparison. In a world dominated by social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. You start thinking you're behind, that your progress doesn't matter, that everyone else has it figured out but you. This mindset can crush motivation and rob you of joy. Lack of clarity is also a hidden obstacle. Many people don't even know what their best life looks like. They haven't taken the time to reflect on what truly matters to them. Without a clear vision, it's hard to take meaningful action. You end up drifting, doing what's expected instead of what feels right. And finally, there's the comfort zone, that familiar space where things are predictable and safe. It's not always comfortable, but it's known. Growth, however, doesn't happen in the comfort zone. Staying there too long can lead to stagnation, regret, and a feeling that life is passing you by. All of these challenges are real, and they affect almost everyone at some point. But recognizing them is the first step. When you can name what's holding you back, you begin to take away its power. So, how do we move past these obstacles and start living our best life? Not someday, but right now. The good news is change doesn't have to be dramatic or overwhelming. It begins with small, intentional steps. Let's explore some practical strategies that can make a real difference. First, set small, achievable goals. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they have to change everything at once. That mindset leads to burnout or giving up entirely. Instead, break things down. If your goal is to get healthier, start with a 10-minute walk each day. If you want to be more productive, commit to one task each morning before checking your phone. These small wins build momentum, and momentum creates motivation. Next, practice gratitude. This might sound simple or even cliche, but it's incredibly powerful. When you focus on what's going right, no matter how small, your brain starts to rewire itself. You begin to notice opportunities instead of obstacles. Start or end each day by writing down three things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. It could be a good conversation, a warm meal, or a moment of peace. Gratitude shifts your perspective and reminds you that even now, you have reasons to feel joy. Another key is embracing vulnerability. We often associate vulnerability with weakness, but in reality, it's a sign of strength. Being honest about your fears, asking for help, admitting when you're struggling. These are not signs of failure. They're signs of growth. Vulnerability allows you to connect more deeply with others and with yourself. It creates space for real change. Building a routine can also help. A consistent daily structure gives your mind and body a sense of stability. Start small. Wake up at the same time, spend 5 minutes journaling, drink water before coffee. These habits create a foundation that supports bigger changes over time. You don't have to do it all at once. The key is consistency. Another powerful tool is visualization. Take time to picture your ideal life in detail. What are you doing? Who are you with? How do you feel? Visualization helps clarify your goals and trains your mind to believe that change is possible. It's not about daydreaming, it's about preparing your brain to act. Also, surround yourself with positivity. This doesn't mean ignoring reality, but being mindful of the energy you allow in. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, the way you talk to yourself, all of it matters. Find a support system, whether it's friends, mentors, or online communities that encourages your growth instead of feeding your doubt. And finally, give yourself grace. Change is not a straight line. There will be setbacks and days when it feels like nothing's working. That's normal. What matters is that you keep showing up. Progress isn't always visible, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Trust the process and be patient with yourself. Overcoming fear, procrastination, and negative self talk isn't about becoming a different person. It's about reconnecting with the best version of yourself, the version that's already inside, waiting to be set free. A few years ago, a close friend of mine was stuck in a job he hated. Every day felt like a repeat of the last. Wake up, go to work, come home exhausted, and repeat. He talked constantly about wanting to start his own business, but fear and self doubt held him back. One day, after a particularly rough week, he made a decision not to quit his job right away or take a huge leap, but to start small. That weekend, he spent just 1 hour researching his idea. The next week, he registered a domain name. Then, he started waking up 30 minutes earlier each day to work on it. Fast forward 2 years, that small business now supports him full time. He didn't wait for the perfect moment, he created it. The change didn't happen overnight, but it began the moment he took that first step. That 1 hour of action set off a chain reaction that transformed his entire life. What he discovered, and what I hope you take from this, is that waiting kills dreams, but action, no matter how small, brings them to life. Living your best life isn't about dramatic transformations. It's about recognizing your fears, challenging your negative thoughts, setting small goals, and choosing to act, starting today. What's one small step you can take right now toward the life you want? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're ready for more tips and motivation, check out the next video. You've got this.